Washington State, welcome to another inspiring afternoon on everyone's favorite show, Afternoons with Ash Black, where we use the power of telepathy to bring you the stories and voices that shape our community right here in our own backyard. That's right, Kitsap County is the place I call home, and if you've never visited, the time is now. My name is Ash Black, and today I'll be your tour guide and your host as we delve into the vibrant world of Pride events and their profound impact on American communities. Communities like our very own Gig Harbor, Washington. But before we do that, I'd like to remind everyone at home, this is your opportunity to show your support by liking and subscribing to our broadcast. Every click is an opportunity to spread the word and let your voice be heard. And in order for us to grow, we need your help. So let your choice be known, your voice be heard, and let's be bold this afternoon by supporting your community by clicking that little button below. What is Pride? The origins of Pride events trace back to the historic Stonewall riots of 1969. On June 28, 1969, a police raid at the Stonewall Inn in New York City sparked a series of spontaneous demonstrations by members of the LGBTQ+ community, now infamously known as the Stonewall Uprising. This uprising marked a pivotal moment in the fight for LGBTQ+ rights, catalyzing the modern gay rights movement. The first Pride marches were held in June 1970 to commemorate the anniversary of the Stonewall riots, and over the years, these marches have evolved into global celebrations of love, acceptance, and equality. Here in Gig Harbor and all over Kitsap, Pride events like Pride in the Park play a crucial role in raising awareness about LGBTQ+ issues and fostering a sense of belonging and solidarity within our community. These events offer a safe space for self-expression and serve as a reminder of the ongoing struggle for equal rights, bringing together people from all walks of life to celebrate diversity, support one another, and promote a culture of acceptance. Today we have a special guest who has significantly contributed to our local celebrations. Jennifer Day is the founder of Pride Gig Harbor, an event that has quickly become the cornerstone of our community. Jennifer also runs Stellar Soirees, a premier event planning company known for its unique and memorable experiences. Today, let's welcome Jennifer Day. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Pride Gig Harbor, Stellar Soirees, you're doing a lot of stuff. Why don't you tell our audience how you got started in all of this today?
Well, I'm an event coordinator by trade. I started doing weddings probably 25, almost 30 years ago, doing wedding makeup. And I noticed that a lot of brides try to do things themselves, and they're not enjoying their time on their big day. So I just kind of hopped in and started to manage logistics and realized that I wanted to do that on a bigger scale. So over the past 15 years, I've started to do more community-based projects and festivals and parades. So that's kind of where my sweet spot is for work.
And outside of Stellar Soirees, obviously this led you into Pride Gig Harbor. Mm-hmm. We're going into our second year now. Yeah. What actually motivated you to start the Pride event, and how has it evolved since you got involved with it?
I moved to Gig Harbor about 3 years, just over the bridge from Tacoma. I'm one of those people, but I wanted to be part of my community. And we remodeled our house, and during that remodel, I became more active in community social media groups. And last April, I believe it was, I just happened to be scrolling around and saw that there was a question, does Gig Harbor have a Pride parade? And I jumped in, not knowing what I was getting myself into, but I answered the question saying, I might be able to help with this, and I have some contacts at the city of Gig Harbor. Let me see what I can do. And then it was magic. It just started, we got a group together, a committee together, and we created something in 41 days that I'll never forget. So
And we're going into our second year now.
Amazing. Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about what that looks like for you and how the community has been receptive
Yeah.
To these Pride events?
Absolutely. Last year was amazing. We really opened the door for people to come out and be part of the broader community. People have been so receptive and happy, just truly, genuinely happy that we're doing this, that we're bringing events to the harbor for our queer community. This year, we're going to be doing June 22nd, again, same place at Scansey Brothers Park. We're just going to kind of pump it up a little and go with a circus, like big top theme, and just create something wonderful.
The Stonewall riots that we, discussed in the opening here, they represent a quintessential moment of change in our history that has kind of led to these Pride events. Why don't you speak to me a little bit about what the evolution of that has looked like, what they look like today versus what they looked like, 30 years ago.
Right. And even so, after Stonewall, I think it was a year or two after, and I'm still learning all of my dates and when things happened, but that's when the flag was created. I think it was in like 71 or 72, 1971 or 1972, and things still were, and they still are, unfortunately, heavy. But I was at one of the first Pride parades in Washington, D.C. I think it was the first gay Pride parade that they had put on the mall, and it was huge, and it was so wonderful. And I think we are just evolving into being able to bring the celebration into our smaller communities, our smaller towns, our smaller cities, so that we can, we're not DC, we're not New York, we're not even Seattle, but we don't have to be. We can just do these things in our community to make a safe space so you can be yourself and express who you are.
How would you say, views have changed in the last 50 years regarding queer rights and, Pride festivals and such? Clearly people have been fighting an uphill battle for a long time. What does it look like these days?
These days, I think it is, I will be honest. I'm straight. I wanted to make sure everyone knows I'm cisgender. I'm married to a man. So my perspective is definitely different, but I am all about education and learning and taking that knowledge and putting it to good use. I do know that we are still fighting these battles, and a lot of it is within the school systems.
Yeah.
I personally, I'm not going to say how old I am, but it's a bit older. I didn't see what is happening today. I didn't have that experience in my school. I feel like the kids these days are being told to express themselves, be who they are. And there's still a wall that they're hitting. And so that's just, I don't know all the answers. I don't know all of the things and what's really happening out there. But I do know that if we can work to make the queer community safer and more visible, like give them a space to come, give everyone a space to come out and be part of just the general community, I'm hoping things can change with advocacy and education. I don't know if that answers the question fully. I know that I'm not 100% the best person to speak to everything that's happening, but I'm an advocate and an ally, and I'm still in that learning curve. But I'm here to work harder and make changes.
Well, I think it's important that you emphasize the fact that you're heterosexual, because, I think it's important for viewers who are approaching this subject to see, that you don't necessarily have to be LGBTQ plus to express the want and the need for equal rights across the board. So from that perspective, I'm curious if maybe you could elaborate more on maybe the thoughts and minds of the heterosexual community that has existed in Gig Harbor and whether or not they're receptive. What does that look like now that the Pride Fest has emerged? Are you seeing that more people are advocates? Have you run into any brick walls? Tell me a little bit about the struggle of the Pride Fest and getting it off the ground.
That's a good question. I am so logistically minded that I kind of stick to, how do I put this where? But with this subject, it has truly changed my heart. I've always been an advocate, or actually, let me say ally. I've always been an ally to the queer community. I was never taught anything else, so I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
Gig Harbor, from what I have learned, and this has only been about the past year and a half, is just more of a conservative town. And that's okay. We're figuring all of this out. I think there are certain people within incorporated and unincorporated Gig Harbor that have reservations about the queer community being here. And it's very interesting because the queer community has always been here. I feel like we opened a door on June 24th, I think it was last year, so people could say, you know what, I feel comfortable coming out. I want to come out and have dinner. I want to go do things with my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my partner, whomever that is, and they want to feel safe. And they didn't before. And one of the big takeaways was we had quite a few community members that came up to me within a couple months of the Pride in the Park and said we were going to move away from this area because we didn't feel it was accepting enough. And in that statement right there, they're not moving, they're staying. They see that there is good here in this area. That made my heart happy.
Yeah.
I'm doing something right.
And representation continues. Could you speak on the experiences that maybe some of those folks have had seeing it? I mean, would you be able to further elaborate on that? Has anyone told you what their experience has been in Gig Harbor and how it has changed as a result of having festivals like this?
I think I was told a few. I've been told many stories. One that is most poignant is a friend and now a very part of Pride Gig Harbor. We are now becoming a nonprofit organization, and so we have a president and a vice president, and it's all very official. But one of our leaders owns a company, owns a business, and works with the youth. And a story that was told was that she was wearing a rainbow mask during COVID, and a parent came up and literally pulled the mask off of this person's face, in resistance to, I guess she thought that she was pushing her agenda on these children by wearing a mask that was in rainbow colors. And that was just one of these many stories that I've been told, that we can't just be who we are. What do we do? And so that's where I feel like I can come in and we can do the hard work and make the changes.
I've learned over time that, fear of living openly with, whoever it is that you find yourself, can create many issues for a person in their life. I can't imagine the immense challenge of, having to hide something like who you choose to love. And, that's one of the reasons why I think, festivals like this are so important for everybody to come out to, for everybody to have an opportunity to be welcoming to their community and the members of people who live within, regardless of those things. Yeah. And obviously the battle isn't won and we've got a long way to go. But, I really appreciate you for creating this festival in Gig Harbor and giving people the opportunity to come out and celebrate one another, because it isn't about sexuality. It's right. About, being able to show the love for the members of your community, the members of your family, sometimes the members of your clergy or your school, or, whoever it is and where they come from. Why don't you talk to me about some of the partnerships and collaborations that have materialized
Sure.
as a result of this?
And thank you for that. This is what we are doing. We are making it a safe space so that, and by safe space, that's all encompassing. We really want people to be able to come out with their dad, come out with their uncle, come out with their auntie, whoever it is, and show them, I'm here for you, and be there for me too. We have worked really hard with Hillary Isaacson of Heart Studio, HART. She is an amazing local artist who I have been so lucky to work with. She did a live painting at the Pride in the Park last year and has given it to us, gifted it to Pride Gig Harbor. And we are selling the canvases as a fundraiser to pay for Pride in the Park because the money has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's a major donor that we are working with. Hillary will also be there this year doing, I think, another live painting. And she has a couple other kind of rad art installations. One of them, she's taking a Burning Man, and she just has lots of fun stuff. We're also, thank you to the City of Gig Harbor, of course. They are our co-sponsor. And we will be raising our Pride flag for the first time ever. Just after June 1st. It's not going to be on June 1st, but I'm not sure of the date, but that's coming. And then we've got lots of sponsors and merchandise and food vendors. We're kind of all working on that together, but we've got Guild Mortgage as a sponsor, and we have, sorry, I should have been prepared on that one a little bit more. But we've got lots of community involvement and support.
And what kind of events can people expect this year that might be a little different than last year?
We just did a rainbow roller disco at the Key Peninsula Civic Center, which was really fun. We have a poetry open mic coming up this Saturday. We're working with Black Cat Barbershop, which is going to be fun. And after that, we're kind of taking it easy just because we've got Pride in the Park coming up.
Yeah.
And so we are a volunteer organization. So to plan so far in the future is, it takes a lot of hours.
Yeah.
So we're working on that.
What are your needs for volunteerism this year?
We are always open arms and ready to take in volunteers to help with creating some of these events and activities.
Yeah.
We'd love to have the youth involved. Actually, we're working with some of the high schools, especially Peninsula High School, to come and be part and learn how to run a stage and learn how to set up an event. And then we hope to do some more youth-oriented, youth-based programs, activities.
Yeah. What does that mean for the youth in Gig Harbor to have, Pride there? Because you mentioned that you do a lot of youth outreach. And, I think that's something that we've touched on in the past here, the alarming levels of youth suicide and things as such. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your work there?
Absolutely. We are just getting going with the youth. This is not something that will ever end or stop. We have work to do. We have liaisons that are going into the high schools. Many of them are parents. I'm not a parent myself.
Yeah.
But I love being around the youth. Like, it's just an amazing atmosphere and energy. And I really want the queer youth to know that no matter what, they have people to go to. And so that's what we're kind of trying to, hey, here's what we're doing. We're going to have this activity. Let's go bowling for $5 down at Ocean 5, and we'll all be together. And you'll know you're within a safe group of people.
Yeah.
But we're doing our best right now. We don't have anything structured, but we do hope to have workshops and resources so that if any of our youth are questioning why they're here, we will have a way to say, you belong. We want you here. You're not alone.
Yeah.
And here's what we can do to help.
What does that landscape look like in Gig Harbor? Are there organizations that currently exist that are tending to those needs?
Not in Gig Harbor. Not in Gig Harbor yet, I should say. Tacoma has the Rainbow Center and the Oasis Youth Center.
Sure.
And they've been around for quite a while. This is new. Technically, you're coming across the bridge from Tacoma. This is a new entity, a new group, a new community. Literally, we just started working really hard maybe in January, February on what we're going to do. So we're still kind of figuring out what is needed. But I do know that the youth is the why. It is my why with my nieces and my nephews. If they ever need a safe space, they know Auntie is that person. And so we're going to work as hard as we can to see what the need is and then create the answer to the need.
I think at all times, everyone can understand that need, a need for a safe place, a place where you can be respected. And, the fact that you're providing that for folks is brilliant. The fact that it's been lacking in the past is, what kind of alarms me here, because, a lot of these community organizations already exist so close to Gig Harbor.
Right.
But there seems to be a borderline that's drawn there between, that extension of Pierce County and us here at home in Kitsap County. So hopefully anybody who's watching here in Kitsap County that would like to get involved with Pride Fest Gig Harbor, I hope that they will reach out to you and we can get you some of these resources
we would love
that the
that.
kids need out there. Why don't you tell me a little bit about, the dirty part of the job? What obstacles have you faced in the last 2 years getting Gig Harbor up? And getting people acclimated to the fact that there is a population out there that maybe it doesn't do everything, doesn't play tennis the same way.
Right.
Or, how has that landscape looked for you?
At first, when I first answered the call, we'll just call it answering the call. I know that sounds cheesy, but Ethan is my heart, and he was the person that put this. Why don't we have a pride parade out there?
Yeah.
And, so of course we became family, but we really flew under the radar last year. We organized so quickly. We were able to accumulate sponsorship dollars just by grassroots and people with big hearts funding, a party in the park, basically. So we had a little bit of pushback. We had about 6 sweet little grandmas there with their signs protesting across the street from the park, but they were peacefully protesting.
Yeah.
Which that is absolutely 100% okay with me. I do know that and I can't get into it too much because I don't know all the ins and outs. I do know that our city council and our mayor received some, pushback about why are you letting this happen in our parks? And I don't have an answer for that. Why, except for why not?
Yeah.
I don't know how they dealt with it all, but I feel like they are very graceful people. And I'm very lucky that they are our mayor and city council because I think that they understand that love is love and enough already.
Well, and I would say to that, my response from years of working in management, and this goes out to the mayor of Gig Harbor as well, when you're in management, if someone's not complaining on either side, then you're not doing your job correctly.
That's right.
So, here's to them for giving you that opportunity and for helping it grow.
Yeah.
I have 2 final questions. One quickly, what advice would you give to someone who sees you here today and says, I want to grow up to be Jennifer. I want to do something this for my community. How do we get people actionable out there? What advice would you give to them?
That's big because I don't ever look at myself as having somebody look up to me. I just do my thing and I love doing my thing. And that is being true to myself, trying to be as kind as possible, genuinely, trying to be a good human. I think hard work and a good sense of humor is what is necessary to make it.
Well, being true to yourself is probably the best takeaway.
Yeah.
And, I think that's a perfect statement for this show today. I hope everyone at home will take that to heart and be true to yourself.
Yes.
Jennifer, tell me how people can get in contact with you. We want folks to get on their feet and be at the Pride Festival.
Let's do it.
Get involved in Stellar Soirees.
Yes.
What does my audience need to know?
The audience needs to know you can go to pridegigharbor.gay, and that is our website. All of the information is there. We have forums to become volunteers, sponsors. If you want to come and sell your merchandise, your gay merchandise, we want it. And then we are always looking for volunteers to come and help and be part and truly make the change that we need to see in this city. And then you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok at Pride Gig Harbor.
Jennifer, I applaud everything you do. Thank you so much for coming out here today and sharing your story.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today's conversation with Jennifer Day has been an enlightening look into the heart of our community. Pride events like those organized by Pride Gig Harbor are more than just celebrations. They are vital platforms for fostering acceptance, promoting equality, and creating safe spaces where everyone can be their authentic selves. Supporting Pride events and the businesses and individuals who champion them, like Jennifer Day and Stellar Soirees, is crucial for the health and unity of our communities. These events remind us of the progress we've made and highlight the work that still needs to be done to achieve full equality for the LGBTQ+ community. In addition to supporting Pride events, I'd like to encourage everyone to consider helping local nonprofits that make a significant impact in our community. Organizations like Doc Loves the Kids provide essential services to at-risk youth and host free community events to support those in need. Their annual events, such as the Barbecue Cook-Off and the Community Shoe Giveaway, make a real difference in people's lives. The Kitsap Community Foundation is another incredible organization supporting a wide range of causes through grants and community initiatives. Their efforts ensure that nonprofits across Kitsap County have the resources they need to thrive and serve. Please consider donating to these and other local nonprofits to help them continue their vital work. Together, we can create a stronger, more supportive community for everyone. And speaking of being a strong, supporting member of the community, don't forget to tune in for future episodes of Afternoons with Ash Black, right here, where we strive to bring you more inspiring stories and exciting content. You can find all of our episodes on our YouTube channel and catch the live broadcasts on your local Kitsap cable provider, as well as all the extras at Afternoons with Ash Black on Facebook. Till next time.